श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करम्। ॐ नमो भगवते रमणाय। सप्रत्ययाः किन्नु विहाय सन्तं हृद्येष चिन्तारहितो हृदाख्यः। कथं स्मरामस्तममेयमेकम् तस्य स्मृतिस्तत्र दृढैव निष्ठा। You don't count verses. Okay? You count topics. Topic number 1, Sat. Very, very powerful topic. Topic number 2, Hrit. 3, mind and its silence. 4, one without the second, Ekam, the Smaranam, that is the 4th topic. How to do Smaranam. Now 5th is Ekam, 6th is Ameya, and 7th is Nishtha. 7 topics. I have covered a lot of ground. So count like that, okay? So, tam ameyam ekam. The Sat is one. This Ekam, it is not one as a number. One, because if you say one, it becomes half of 2. 1/3 of 3, like that. It is not that kind of Ekam. It is Ekam like Akasha. When you say Akasha is one, it doesn't mean there are 2 Akashas and this one is half of those 2. It's not like that. It means one without the second. In fact, the word Ekam originates from the verb eti, iti Ekam. In Gatav, Gatihi Vyaptihi. It goes everywhere. Means it pervades all. Even the number 1 pervades all numbers. When you have 2, there are ones twice. 3, once thrice, like that. Not once thrice, the same one thrice. So this is the Ekam. That's why we translate it as one without the second. So the Sat is one without the second. It is like gold. You make, so to begin with, there were no ornaments. Before gold was discovered, there were no ornaments, you know. First, Shakuntala did not have any ornaments, Kalidasa. So, Kimivahi Madhuranam Mandanam Nakrutinam. That is what he says. So, what is not an ornament? And the person is so beautiful to look at. What is not an ornament? You don't need a necklace as an ornament. She doesn't have any ornaments. So ornaments came later. Ornaments are for the city people, not for the... Anyway, that's a different topic. So gold was discovered. Gold is one. Now the gold is made into multiple ornaments. Still gold is one. This one is such a one which includes all. That kind of a one it is. Like Akasha. There are many things in Akasha. Akasha includes all of them. Still remains one. That is one kind of an example. But gold is even better example. Gold becomes so many ornaments, countless. Still remains one. Ramatirtha, Swami Ramatirtha gave an example. I was amazed by that example. A child was playing with a mirror. A child was amused by the image in the mirror. It doesn't understand the significance of the image. It assumes that there is some guy in the mirror. That is what the child thinks. And the child is amused by this new friend who is there in the mirror. And then suddenly the mirror drops from the child's hand and breaks and becomes 4 or 5 pieces. Now the child laughs merrily because now he has 5 friends. Look at that. Earlier only 1 friend, now 5 friends. That child is Brahman and the mirror is Maya. Okay? So Brahman reflects in the mirror of Maya and appears as Prithvi, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, the Panchabhutas, and appears as the countless bodies, countless life forms, with life, without life. With life Panchabhutas, without life Panchabhutas only. Same Panchabhutas without life called inorganic. Same Panchabhutas with life is called organic. Same thing. So that is the one without the second. And in meditation I try to point out that it is myself who becomes all. Ekam. It is myself who becomes all. I am what I am, one without the second, and then I come out of myself into the mind, into the mirror of the mind. And that means I reflect in the mind, thereby illuminating the entire content of the mind. And that is how I create all out of myself. I create all out of myself. And then I take back all into myself. That is what you are. You are the center of the cosmos. You create the cosmos out of you and take back the cosmos into you. That is what you are. You have grossly misunderstood yourself by identifying with a body. And also, you see, you are not a body. You are the light in which that body and every other body comes to light. You are that light, Once you know you are the light, then light illuminates all, thereby including all. But instead of understanding yourself correctly as the light, that inner light, Jyotihi, Atma Jyotihi, instead of understanding correctly, when you identify with the physical body, you have done a grievous mistake which injures you to no end. You should not do that mistake. Therefore, that one without the second, the Brahman, the real, that is your true nature. That is the one. And then it is Ameyam. This Ameya, it is used in Gita also. So, sometimes in the Sahasranama, Ashtottara Shata, that people chant. This is a sad spectacle for me, not for everybody. When they chant these 108 names so mechanically, they just chant. Karma is like that. Because the person's entire focus is to offer flowers to the image, and while offering flowers he cannot do it silently. In his own understanding he cannot do it silently. He has to do it by he has to associate the offer of flowers with some chant. And what he has to chant, therefore 108 names he has to chant. And they are written the alphabet. He can chant, you write some English words in Sanskrit, in the vernacular and give to him, he will chant them, because it just doesn't matter what he is chanting. Suppose instead of saying Ramaya Namaha, you say Gimaya Namaha, he will say Gimaya Namaha and offer the flower. He just doesn't mind. He is so blessed in his total ignorance of what is being chanted. Total ignorance. That's why mistake comes, and the person, the unfortunate guy who knows it as mistake, feels bad, but he doesn't feel bad. He is in bliss. And these people who have studied a little Vyakaranam by mistake in the childhood, they get disturbed. This is all digression. The point is, in all these Sahasranamas, Ashtottara Shatanama, you name it, you will find Aprameyaya Namaha. Everywhere you find it, Aprameyaya Namaha. And I am amazed, all our Vedanta friends, God bless them, they remain in total bliss of ignorance when they hear this Aprameyaya Namaha. They don't even think about it. I am amazed. There are always worthy exceptions. Please don't mind. You are that worthy exception. Don't mind. Therefore, Aprameyaya Namaha, Ameyaya Namaha. You see, there is a thing called Manam. Manam is to measure. You can, you see, dhatavaha, dhatunam anekarthatvam. The dhatu has multiple meanings. Like gati, going, gati, pervading. Like that, multiple meanings will be there. Similarly, so here the dhatu is mang mane, measure. So when you say, when I see the pot, when you say I see the pot, it is seeing, it is knowing. Not only that, it is measuring, it is limiting. When you see the pot as pot, you have limited it, you have measured it as pot. Means measurement is limitation, you know. You have measured it means you have limited in space, in time, and in a particular form. You have limited it. That is what mana is. Suppose you say Bhagavan Chaturbhujaha, 4 hands. But what you have done to the pot, you have done to the God. I tell you. That's why the Chaturbhujaha, having said it, I am explaining it. Chaturbhujaha, bhuja palane, the one who protects the 4 kinds of devotees. That is Maheshanandagiri. The 4 hands thing, if it appeals to you, you are welcome. But somehow you are providing fodder to the cartoonists. I tell them. Therefore, one who protects the four kinds of devotees, that is wonderful. So, or one who is in the form of 4 purusharthas. Some such thing you have to say, some significance you have to give. Otherwise, if you end up like a physical entity having 4 hands, you are in a very weird thing it is, I tell you. And therefore, that kind of a measurement, that kind of a limitation, it doesn't apply to the real. You know why? Whatever is, there are a few laws. These are called laws of Vedanta, like Newton's laws, Einstein's laws. Somebody may say, no, they are mathematical laws, physical laws, very precise. What about these Vedanta laws? These are as precise as any mathematical or physical law. Now, law number 1, whatever is limited in space is necessarily limited in time. So, if you say Bhagavan has this form, that form will be limited in time also. Form is limited in limitation in space, therefore it is limited in time also. Limited in time, you know what does it mean? It was born and it will die. Papam shamayatu. You should not say such things about God. So, God is beyond all limitations. Mana. You put a pra before mana, pra is upasarga. Pramana is not a single monolithic word that you can carry on your head. Mana, put a pra before the mana. Because of the refa, that na becomes a na. Okay? So, pramana means, you see pramana, you want to call it, translate it, means of knowing. That is how you translate. The translation doesn't convey the entire gamut of that word. It is not just means of knowing. Knowing is measuring. Knowing is limiting. Because the mind, it is the mind which knows. Atma doesn't know. Atma, you know this. Today morning I wanted to tell in the meditation, but I did not want to put so much into the meditation. Atma is the knowingness, chit. Be prepared to listen and think. Before I say that, let me ask you a question. Why are you listening to a speaker? Why are you listening? What is the purpose of listening to a speaker? Don't answer. Don't answer. Are you listening in order to confirm what you already know? In order to ratify that you have that knowledge that you have already acquired? The speaker ratifies or confirms and that makes you feel good. Is that the purpose you are listening to the speaker? If that is the purpose, then it serves no purpose at all. The speaker is nothing, nobody special. If you already know, and if the speaker ratifies what you know, you will be fixed in your ignorance, I tell you. That is not the purpose of listening to the speaker, whosoever may be the speaker. You are listening to the speaker to find out. Is it so? Please answer yourself. You need not answer me. The speaker is not important. You are listening to the speaker to find out. Is it so? If that is the case, what all you know will remain in the background. It will not come into the foreground. You can as well say what all you know gets dropped. And now your mind is alert, empty, not blank, alert, ready to learn or know. I suppose you are listening to the speaker for that purpose. I suppose so. Okay, having said that, now I will come back to what I wanted to say. Atma is the chit, the knowingness. Be ready to understand the knowingness in which there is no knowing. It is the knowingness in which there is no knowing. You see, the sun doesn't illuminate anything around itself. You know why? Because there is nothing around itself. The sunlight has to come to the Earth's atmosphere and there are a few things there, then they get illuminated. Till then, sun doesn't illuminate anything. Sun doesn't illuminate anything until the sun, or the sun which is same as the sunlight, encounters the atmosphere of the earth. Similarly, Atma is the knowingness which knows nothing. You know why? There is no second to know. It is the knowingness which knows nothing. Whereas the same knowingness, as it gets reflected in the mind, becomes a means of knowing something else. There must be the Maya has to come into the picture to convert the not knowing knowingness into a mechanical process of knowing. You should know that. Therefore, you want to know God, you want to know Sat, Chit, you want to know it? How can you know it? What are the means of knowing? So that is the Pramana, the means of knowing. Broadly two. Then you can add one more. You can make, somebody made them 5. Then I told him, you see, I am one upmanship, I will make it 6. Then somebody made 7. Then you believe me, I made it 8. So these pramanas, they goes on increasing. But all of them can be put into 2 categories. Pratyaksha, Anumana. You know with the senses primarily, but mind is always there. Without mind, entirely 100% senses, you don't know anything. You know primarily with the senses. Primarily, mind is always there. That is one pramana, pratyaksha. And there is another pramana. You know primarily with the mind. Senses are there. Not entirely with the mind. Without the support from the senses, entirely mind cannot know anything. Even Anumana, Arthapatti, etc., the sensorial input must be there to begin with. Then only Anumana, then only Arthapatti, then only Anupalabdhi, whatever you call it. Therefore, sense dominating knowing primarily through senses, pratyaksha, knowing primarily through the mind. Anumana, Upamana, Arthapatti, Anupalabdhi, you name it, all of that. These are the 2 senses you have. Sorry, these are the two pramanas that you are endowed with. These are the two. No, there is another pramana, Shabda. Where is it? It is not in you, it is outside of you. It is not in you. Okay? So from the outside you have to import it and put it inside you and then use it. Okay? So that became 3. These are the pramanas. And all these pramanas help you to know only the limited, not the unlimited. Okay? Therefore, the Vastu, the Atma, is the unlimited. It is Ekam, one without the second. And it cannot be objectified by any of these means of knowing. That's why Pramana, the word itself, instead of calling it means of knowing, because means of knowing means you want to know Atma. Now here is the means of knowing. So that kind of an impression gets generated. And then people are waiting to know Atma. You know that? All the people are waiting to know Atma. Yeah. They are waiting before a painted door. They are waiting to know Atma. So, how do you know Atma? With Pramana. Where from you will get Pramana? From the Guru. Now what are you doing presently? Presently I am doing Pada Puja to the Guru. Eventually I will get Pramana and then I will know Atma. Am I a bit crude in what I said? Maybe I am forthright. You will be waiting. If I say one more thing, you will feel bad. Only thing is I did not say it. A Mahatma said. The Mahatma, you see, people are waiting for happiness. They have done a ritual to gain heaven and they are waiting for happiness. Now you tell me, are they waiting for happiness or are they waiting for death? So, yesterday I told knowledge will never happen in the future. So you are waiting to know, right? You got it all wrong. I am sorry to say. You see, you need jijnasa, the desire to know. Now don't confuse it with the desire to make money, etc. Okay, for God's sake. No, the other day you said no desires, today you are saying desires. So don't start this kind of a harakiri. Okay? This desire is a different desire. Okay? This is not a desire of that kind. Understand, Appa? Understand? You start with a desire to know. As long as the desire to know persists, you will not know. It is like the desire to sleep. As long as the desire to sleep persists, you are not sleeping. You are not going to sleep. The desire to sleep should drop. The effort for sleep should drop. The one who makes the effort to sleep should drop. The one who desires to sleep should drop. Everything should drop. Then there is sleep. Atma Jnanam is like that. So you are waiting to know Atma. You are not going to know Atma. Suppose you know Atma. Then it is like, hey, are you sleeping? Yes, I am sleeping. It is like that. It is like that. So, you see, one Mahatma told her, you know where from I get this courage? I am a very timid person. You know me? You see me? I am a very timid guy. And I do not even know how to handle a kid. A kid can manipulate me, I am telling you. Very timid guy. I purchase a nice ticket and enter into the flight. I am not sure of myself. That timid I am. Yet when I sit here, there is a courage. I don't know where from it comes, but I know where from it comes. It comes from the Mahatmas. So, anyway, so the point is, the pramana, the means of knowing, cannot measure the Atma. It is aprameya. You cannot know Atma with pratyaksha. You cannot know Atma with the mind. Because Atma, that is I am, take it like that. Because you know what people do, what Vedanta people do, they don't understand that I am is the Atma. They don't understand that. I am, I know, that I am what I am, but Atma is, I want to know Atma. You have separated, you know. Thereby you have created a schism which will never be filled. I am is the Atma. But what about Brahma? Wahi. I am is the Brahma. So just remember this. Hridaya kuhara madhye kevalam brahma matram. Kevalam is ekam, one without the second. Brahma, here. Remember that. You see, your conditioning that God is above and God is in a building and God is in a small room, very cunning, 3 by 6, 3 by 5. Bedroom is 14 by 18. God's room is 3 by 5. Very cunning, I tell you. So God is in 3 by 5 room. As long as this conditioning persists, you will not know that God is here. You see, you have to push and you have to pull. Both should operate. Okay. Anyway, so Hridaya Kuhara Madhya, the Brahma. You want to know Brahma? Brahma Jignasa. Where are you looking for Brahma? In books? Books have Brahma in them. Books can give you a suggestion. That is all they can do. I would even go to the extent of saying book can give you a hint or a suggestion, nothing more. Books are books. I always carry my book. Book is not my problem. What you draw the boundary. You draw the boundary. This ameya or aprameya, this is all about drawing the boundary. What the book can do, draw the boundary. This much book can do and draw the boundary. Not more, not beyond. Speech, this much speech can do. Draw the boundary. Speech can do something. Draw the boundary. This much it can do, not more. Pramana, this much it can do, not more. Mind or thought, this much it can do, not more. You have to draw the boundary. If you don't draw the boundary, you depend upon that to take you to the truth. And you are wrongly depending. It will not take you to the truth. That's why the Shastra draws the boundaries. Aprameya. It is drawing the boundary. So you be committed to the pramana, but not beyond the boundary. Therefore, unless you draw these boundaries, you will not arrive at the truth. That's why. Otherwise, we are not interested in denigrating something, in saying things against the books. People who live by the books whole life, who carry a book all the time in the hand, how can they denigrate a book? They are not denigrating a book. They are pointing out the limitations of the book or the pramana. Anyway, so thought cannot reach the vastu, because the vastu, that is aham, that is the vastu, aham. Atma is aham. So the hridaya kuhara madhye kevalam brahma matram sakshat atma rupena bhati. Brahma shining as atma. How shining? Aham ahamiti. He indeed aham ahamiti. Therefore Brahma, which is Atma, is shining as aham aham iti. This is how it is shining. Therefore look at that aham. That aham, is it something known to you or not? It is known to you. It is known to you very much. But at the same time, is it known to you through speech? No, it is prior to speech. Is it known to you through eyes, through eyesight? No, it is prior to the eyesight. Is it known to you through thought? Like ghata is known to you through thought. Thought is pramana, you know that? Thought is pramana. So ghata thought is the pramana to know the thing called ghata. Okay? So atma thought is the pramana to know the thing called atma. Go and sit on the tree. You lost it, the game. You lost the game even before it started. Therefore, here is needed extreme alertness. Here, that extreme alertness has to be there, because Atman is entirely different from all things. You know the entire world, you know through eyesight, but you cannot know Atma. The entire world you can understand, the universe you can understand with the mind, but Atma you cannot understand with the mind. Therefore, so that alertness is required. Why alertness? Because you should have that capacity to learn from suggestive hints. Shastra says Atma is Brahma, Atma is Aprameya. Like that, suggestive hints only will be coming forward. And you should be able to learn from suggestive hints, because whatever is known through the senses and the mind, whatever is known, so much can be known with the senses and the mind. So much can be known. The entire science is a product of observation and deduction. Entire science, physics, chemistry, physiology, medicine, all branches of science, they originate from senses and the mind, the power of senses and the mind. Entire artificial intelligence came like that. Therefore, only whatever is known through the senses and the mind, Atman is different from all such things. Therefore, all our present knowledge, what all knowledge you have, it has to be turned aside to know Atman. Atman cannot be included in that. In that sense, all positive knowledge becomes nescience. All positive knowledge becomes nescience. Upanishad is very clear about it. It gives a list. You read the list and stop there. You will be amazed how glorious it is. Rigvedo, Yajurveda, Samavedo, Yatharvana Veda, Chandas, Siksha, Kalpam, Vyakaranam, Jyotisham, etc. Chaturdasha Vidyasthanani, Ashtadasha Vidyaha, Chatushashti Kalaha. Whole list it gives. Oh my God, so much. What a glorious thing. All of this is ignorance. Now how that sounds to you? Aparavidya, it is said. Aparavidya. But it is said avidya also. What Mundaka calls aparavidya, Katha calls avidya. Therefore, all positive knowledge becomes nescience. And Atman is other than everything that is known or that can be known. That is the meaning of aprameya. Also, this faculty of knowing, namely pramana, it creates two categories. Pratyaksha, take pratyaksha, eyes. What is seen and what is not seen. Ears, what is heard and what is not heard. Taste, what is tasted, what is not tasted. Come to the mind or intellect, what is known and what is not known. Vidita and avidita. Now where shall we put Atma? Do you know Atma? We don't know Atma, so put it into avidita. So that later, eventually it becomes vidita. You should be able to put it into avidita. Why not? Presently you are doing Pada Puja. Later you will get pramana and later you will know. Therefore it must be put into the category of avidita. Okay? You should put into the category of avidita. Tarka, Nyaya Shastra is avidita. I am going to a Nyaya scholar and I will do some susrusha to him and learn something, and then Nyaya becomes vidita. Right? So Atma I don't know. Here is the Guru who will teach Atma to me, and he has the Yoga Patta with him, which is the Pramana, and he will hand it over to me, and with that I will know Atma. So presently you put it into the category of avidita. What is your problem? It is not, because if you put it into, you should see all these things very deeply with extreme alertness. If you put Atma into the category of avidita, you will be waiting to become vidita. And now you are looking for means to make it, to push from avidita side to vidita side. From avidita party, jump it to vidita party. Congress people jumping into BJP or vice versa. So you will be waiting for that. You don't mind my saying some of these things, out of some jest means J-E-S-T, jest, okay? Out of some jest I say these things. Many of our friends are doing that. They are just waiting. They have done their bit. Now the pramana has to come, and the blessing has to come, the grace has to come, and then the Atma Jnana will happen. They are waiting for Atma Jnana, waiting for Swarga, waiting for happiness, like that. No. That's why Atma should not be put into the category of avidita. Then let us put into category of vidita. You should not put it. You see, all questions will not have the answer yes or no. You should know that. You tell us yes or no. No. So Atman is beyond the categories of both known and the unknown. So anyadeva tad viditat, it doesn't fit into the category of vidita. Atho avidita dadhi, it is beyond the category of avidita also. So therefore Atman is neither the known nor the unknown. Means it is not a thing amenable or available for any pramana. Okay? Then you know why? Because Atma is the druk. Shruti says Vijñātāramare kena vijaniyat. Kena trutiya vibhakti. That is the pramana. Kena pramanena. Kena karanena. Karana trutiya, you know. Karana is pramana. So kena karanena vijaniyat. Vijñātāramare. Atma is the druk. Druk itself. The very druk. You see, I tell you, there was an old man and his grandson. The old man wanted to know whether the sun has risen or not. He is lying down on the bed. He asked his grandson, dear boy, go and find out whether sun has come or not. This boy went and outside and came back and told him, I cannot know because it is very dark. Because when it is so dark, how can you find out whether sun has come or not? Okay. Then the old man says, oh fool, take that battery light and find out. These are the pramana. No, not like that. You have to understand the pramana very correctly. You must be extremely alert. Don't come to any conclusion yet. I am not yet done. I am now coming to its conclusion. So Shankara, he looks at this problem. He addresses this problem. He says, Purvapaksha, why do you say pramana cannot reveal Atma to us? No, agamena Atma parichhidyate. Agama is there, Shruti is there. It should be able to reveal Atma to us. Why do you say aprameya? So So aprameyasya, na prameyasya, aprameyasya. This is like Mallinatha Suri Vyakhya. But it looks like that, you know. So pratyakshaadi pramanaiha parichhedyasya ityartha. So you cannot know Atma with any of these pramanas. That is the aprameya. But then the Purvapaksha. Now, but Agama you cannot say. Agama is also a pramana. I told you. You are endowed with the two pramanas intrinsically, and Agama is the pramana in the outside. But you see, Agama, is it outside pramana or inside pramana? Suppose you say it is outside pramana, then it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you. It is not a pramana at all. So it has to become inside pramana. Okay, it has to go into you. And then you have to see. Then you see there also, suppose you quote the Agama. Now are you seeing it? That means what? The Agama is in the bookstore, bookshelf. Is it a pramana? No. The Agama I have by hearted and kept here. All the mantras are here. Now is that pramana? No. So by the time the Agama helps you, you know what will happen to the Agama? It dissolves or resolves in you. That is what Shruti Gita says in Bhagavatam. Shrutaya uchuhu. The Shrutis say, oh Bhagavan, we try to reveal you and we fail to reveal you. So we come and merge in you. Probably that is how you get revealed. Something to that effect. I don't remember the verse. Therefore, so the outside pramana becomes inside pramana, not just inside pramana, inside you it becomes. Then it has done its job. But still, here the Purvapaksha is, Agama is there, Shastra is there. Shastram pramanam. Why do you say Atma is aprameya? You should say Atma is Shastra prameya. Shastra prameya Atma. Shastram Vedaha. Shastram is Veda. By Veda it is known. Shankara, no. It is not prameya even by Shastra. Why? Atmanaha svata siddhatvat. Sun, like sun. Atma, the sun, is svata siddha. You see, ghataha, that siddha word you should understand. I have entered into this topic, therefore I am doing a job of it. Okay? And I will conclude. So, ghataha. Ghataha, is it swayam siddhaha or pramana siddhaha? Pramana siddhaha. Okay? Parvato vandhiman. Pramana siddhaha, not swayam siddhaha. Atma, pramana siddhaha. Swayam siddhaha. Not only that. Pramana is atma siddhaha. अरे उल्टा है भाई, उल्टा है. Shankara says, siddhehi atmani pramatari premitso pramananveshana bhavati. First is what siddha? First, what is in place first? Ghata or pramana? Pramana. Eyesight. Eyesight, ghata. So, eyesight siddhe, ghataha siddhyati. Mind siddhe, parvato bandhiman siddhyati. Whereas, atmani siddhe, pramanam siddhyati. Siddhehi atmani, pramananveshana bhavati. First, you are in place. I am. I want to say, I am. You are waking up. I am. I want to see whether coffee is prepared or not. Open the eyes. How to see coffee is prepared or not? Pramananveshana bhavati. You have to look for appropriate pramana. And that is eyesight or nose. Now, you want to use that pramana to limit, to understand, to know Atma? No. Atma is swayam siddha, svata siddha. then what happens to Shastra? What is the role of Shastra? So, what you have to do is, don't start something that Tattvavidananda is against Shastra. Don't start that kind of a canard. Don't do such silly thing. I'm not telling you, generally. Tattvavidananda is not against Shastra. Tattvavidananda is pointing out, the speaker is pointing out that Shankara has drawn a boundary for the Shastra. A boundary, he puts a two. Shastram two. Because if Shastra is not the pramana for the Atma, then what is the role of the Shastra now? Shastram tu antyam pramanam. We are not saying it is not a pramana. It is the last pramana really. We are giving the highest spot to the pramana, Shastra. But now you said Atma cannot be measured by pramana. Atadharmadhyaropana matra nivartakatvena pramanatvam atmani pratipadyate natu ajnatartha jnapakatvena. Generally, the word, that statement is very profound, very significant, very simple statement too. What you call pramana, it is used to know a thing that is not known. Ajnatartha jnapakatvam pramanyam. A thing that is not known, you know it with the help of the pramana. Atma is not known. Therefore, with the help of the pramana, you will know Atma. That won't work with Atma. Then how to know Atma? You see, Atma is the real. Okay? When Shastra talks of the real, it talks of real as not unreal, Satyam, not unreal, spaceless, everything is space bound, Atma spaceless, everything is time bound, Atma timeless, everything has a cause, Atma causeless, everything has a beginning, Atma beginningless, everything ends, Atma endless. So this is how Atma is taught. Atadharma adhyaropana matra nivritti paratvat. So now I am concluding with some important conclusions which you may want to pay attention. So there is nothing like knowing Atma. Okay? There is only knowing what Atma is not. Siddhantu nivartakatvat iti agamavidam sutram. Shankara in Mandukya. So there is nothing like knowing Atma. There is only knowing what you are not, what Atma is not. In fact, Atma is neither perceivable nor conceivable. So, okay? So, you see, whatever you can point out is not Atma. Whatever you can point out, that is the pramana, is not Atma. And when the entire pointing out ceases, when there is no pointing out, when there is no effort to know, the effort to know, the desire to know,